Welcome to our channel. If you're a fan of the mysterious and the unknown, then you're in for a treat. We've delved deep into the depths of the internet to bring you the most chilling and hair-raising tales from the deep web. These are stories that will send shivers down your spine and have you questioning what really lies beyond the surface of the internet. So, turn off the lights, grab some popcorn, and get ready to be scared. Our story tonight is one that will have you on the edge of your seat and leave you looking over your shoulder as you navigate the web. Are you ready to take a journey into the unknown? Press play and let's begin. I recently got a package delivered to me. The sender was unknown to me. It appeared to be innocuous enough. So I cracked it open. It was a DVD. Except for the white writing on the front, the box was totally black. It was titled Your Life, the final season. Title seems interesting. I tried to check it up online, but there were no results. I asked my roommate Skylar, who is much more tech-savvy than I am, to look into it. He, too, was unable to locate anything. Before he went, he mentioned that it may have been a deep web video that had found its way to me by accident. That piqued my interest. When I opened my laptop, a menu popped. There was an option for episode guide, so I selected that. This season included 48 episodes, however only the first episode had a title. It was the start of the end. I decided to press the play button. I was immediately frightened as the 40-minute movie began. The show began with a shot of me inside my flat. It was from the previous week. What the hell happened? What was it? An uncomfortable feeling had settled over me. My mouth felt dry, and my pulse was throbbing faster in my chest. I investigated my environment right away. The image was taken from a single position in my room. I walked to my room after pausing the movie. If I'm right, it's coming from where I normally keep my laptop. Had I been hacked? I returned to the living room and resumed watching the show. It kept going in the same direction, with me sometimes executing little duties. The virtual me sat down at my desk and began typing. The video shot was moved to my laptop screen. It was my social media post. Then a graphic appeared. Do you ignore or reply to an online poster? This was a familiar situation. AdamCell34, a jerk, had torn apart my most recent tale on a website. I returned the favor. Because that was what had happened, I used my mouse to click react. The episode finished. I wanted to double-check the episode guide to see what the title of the following episode was. It was named A Bad Decision. There were a total of 25 episodes. Strange, I assumed there were more. My first assumption was that Skylar was playing a joke on me. He was the only person I knew who was capable of hacking into my laptop. It was rather complex for a joke. Should I watch episode 2? Finally, I decided to say yes. It was another video from my room. It was from a few days ago, when I was lamenting my damaged phone. In the meantime, I had to make do with a flip phone. It showed Skylar and I conversing. He handed me his phone, and I dialed. Another image popped up. Should you return Skylar's phone or leave it on the counter? Now I was confident he was playing with me. Was he really so irritated that I had left his phone on the kitchen counter? He said he had just been gone a minute before returning and grabbing it. This was out of the ordinary. The episode finished when I chose the counter option. I went back to the episode guide. The third episode of 13 would come next. 13? I knew it had been 25 minutes before. Why was the number of episodes decreasing? I texted Skylar, calling him an asshole, and went to bed. I got a call from my mother just as I was getting settled. I'll text her first thing in the morning. I awakened the next morning to find no evidence that Skylar had returned home. That was unexpected. Before entering the living room, I texted my mother. The DVD casing was there. Was this something I should keep an eye on? If he went to all this work to make this, I might as well keep going. The third episode was titled Wheels in Motion. Unlike the previous 2 episodes, this one was not shot only using my laptop camera. Every room has many views from various viewpoints. The footage was aimed directly at me. There was video of people eating, gambling, sleeping, and even undressing. It shot chills down my spine. There were continual images of my phone making outgoing calls to my relatives. I double-checked, and they were still there. That was troubling. I texted my mother again to check in. Then I texted Skylar, informing him that the next time I see him, he'll be dead. The following scene displayed a stainless steel hose on the counter. When I paused the video to verify, it was no longer there. Why would this show me that just to have it disappear? The program quickly ended. Checkmate was the following episode. This one began differently. It was a photograph of a road down a steep slope. A bustling crossroads was at the bottom of the slope. Nothing happened for a long time. Then a car started speeding down the street. It continued to accelerate until it crashed with oncoming traffic. Several automobiles were damaged as a result of the incident. The camera zoomed in on the car that had sped through traffic until it reached the driver's side window. The film took a while to depixelate. When it did, you could see Skylar, injured and helpless on the ground. As he began to move, the shot stayed for a second. The car then exploded, covering the entire area in flames. There were destroyed bodies and car pieces all over the place. People were even screaming around with their bodies on fire. The video was terrifying. To relax myself, I started taking long, deep breaths. My hands had become sweaty, and I was having difficulty sitting still. A graphic then showed. Did you return your mother's phone call last night? Yes or no? My fingers became numb. I was terrified to choose no. So I clicked yes. Please try again. Did you return your mother's phone call last night? Yes or no? There was just no other option. I got a no. The episode concluded, and I was sent to the episode guide. The series now had a total of 6 episodes. When I dialed Skylar's number, it went straight to voicemail. I dialed my mother's number. The same thing. I tried everyone else in my family. There was no answer. If this was a joke, it had gone too far. My entire body was shaking. I needed to contact the person who had emailed this to me if I wanted to figure out what was going on. Digging through the trash, I discovered the DVD's packaging. There was a return address and a name, Chris James. That is an interesting name. I researched the address to make sure it was correct. It was, and it was just 14 minutes away. Perfect. I then searched him to see if I could recognize him. That's when I noticed the funeral listing. There were a few fresh pieces regarding his death underneath it. I choose one. Chris James, 26, was discovered dead at his house on Saturday morning. Neighbors noticed he hadn't been seen in a few days and called the cops to check on him. Police attempted to call the guy but received no answer. They broke inside the house and discovered James had hanged himself. I felt a wave of fear go over me. He passed away just a few days before I got the DVD. What was the situation? Was Skylar truly in that car accident? Why wasn't anyone in my family answering? The reasonable thing to do is to call the cops. When I phoned 911, nothing occurred. I tried once more. Nothing. Other numbers in my phone worked as well. Although 911 could not be contacted. I texted a buddy to dial 911 on my behalf. Message could not be sent. This isn't a coincidence. Anyone who was responsible for this was not allowing me to call the police. There was only one way to discover out what was going on. I needed to keep an eye on things. I got home and fired up my laptop. The 5th episode was titled Real-Time Installing. It didn't take long to figure out why. I was looking at a reflection of myself on the screen. I made a movement and the video exactly copied it, as if it were a mirror. Whatever I did, the screen reacted the same way. In quiet, I watched myself watch the screen for 40 minutes, waiting for anything to happen. Every sound and blow of wind scared me. But nothing ever happened. Finale, episode 6, had arrived. This episode started with a summary of all of my decisions. The screen switched to the site. AdamCell34 was the username. My message to him appeared, and his screen was updated with a new tab. It started typing dark web. A hit employment advertisement was placed. It requested my name and address. The screen instantly changed. It was located within our flat. Skylar had left her phone on the counter. After a little period, he entered and grabbed it up before leaving. After about a minute, the door reopened. It wasn't Skylar this time. Someone was wearing a mask. Skylar had forgotten to lock the door when he returned for his phone. The man with the mask began to place small cameras throughout the flat. The screen moved again. It was now outside, facing Skylar's SUV. A man was taking something out of it. It was the previous stainless steel hose. I recognized it now. It was a braking system. The man also had a remote in his hand. The screen was now in my room. On my phone, a guy began calling numbers. He used a voice changer when speaking to my family. He informed them that I was in danger and asked them to meet them at our family cabin. The man got off the phone. He took the brake line from his pocket and placed it beneath my bed. I dashed into the other room and looked under my bed. It was right there. My heart was pounding. I believe I was in shock. Skylar was unable to stop since the brakes had been removed. My family had been kidnapped. The screen on the laptop had changed once again. It was my family this time. They were locked in a basement. A man was holding a phone close to my mom. He assured them that if I called, he would let one of them go. The phone started to ring. The ringing persisted. "Hello, you have reached John. I apologize for missing your call." My mother's face had lost its color. The kidnappers of my family began to laugh. I just looked straight. These judgments I made, seemingly little ones, have destroyed my life. Text displayed as the screen went to dark. Your life, sadly, has concluded its last season and will not be renewed. You will, though, be given the opportunity to go out on a high note. Make use of your site account. Choose someone. A graphic displayed beneath the text. Enter your site's username here. AdamCell34 does not qualify. The words continued beneath the image. Once you've provided a username, the person's personal information will appear on the screen. There's a package in your desk drawer. Grab it and mail it to the next individual using their personal information. This is the first task. You will return to that site once you have shipped the box and look for that login. You will send them a note in which you will tell them your tale. This is the second task. You will be murdered after you press the submit button. If you complete tasks 1 and 2, your family will be released safely. Your family will die a long, miserable death if either mission is not done. You will spend the rest of your life in prison for Skylar's murder. As we speak, the detectives are retrieving your most recent texts to him. They were informed that you interfered with his car. Although your season is completed, many fans are looking for the turn. A last image appeared of a creepy smiling face. Will the hero save his family at the conclusion of your season? Yes or no? I've made my decision. I apologize, dear site visitor. You'll be next. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, we would love for you to give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us to bring you more thrilling and terrifying content in the future. We would also love to hear your thoughts and reactions in the comments section. Feel free to share your own scary stories or suggest topics that you would like to see us cover in future videos. And if you really enjoyed this video, don't be shy, share it with your friends and spread the fear. Thanks again for watching, and we can't wait to bring you more creepy content in the future.